VEDA day 6. Yeah, I'm rolling sound. Okay. The story of how Mr.Hallease and I met really actually isn't that interesting. He was dating my friend, we'll call her Shababab, and she wanted us to meet him, me and my roommate, to meet him, so that way we could decide if he was crazy and, you know, your friends can see things you don't see sometimes, you know? And I think he definitely knew he was, being shown off to us, so he was very charismatic and all of that. My initial impression of him was just, alright, here's this guy. There's nothing overtly, crazy attractive about him. He's just a dude, kind of average guy. He did not dress well back then. He had just a button-down shirt with straight leg jeans, which is terrible because he needs slim fit. And I think he was wearing New Balance sneakers, just not, we fixed all that though. But then he spoke and I was like, oh, you smart. His voice, the way he talks comes off as very intelligent and very charismatic. He has a good voice. The way y'all are always like, I love your voice, Hallease. I love his voice a lot. And I could tell how much he really cared about Shababab at the time. I could see that, and so, I was excited. I put my stamp of friend approval on Mr. Hallease with Shababab, and they dated for a couple months, I think, and through that time, he would come up to visit Shababab from San Antonio, and, sometimes I would be there and sometimes I wouldn't, and I think he actually also helped on some of my student films, because Shababab would act in some of them, and he, I think he was a PA on 2 of them. Anyway, so, they dated, it didn't work out, they broke up, fast forward, and they broke up right around, I think maybe a month before school let out for the summer. He knew I was in San Antonio, which is where he was living at the time, and he messaged me on Facebook. I don't really know anyone in San Antonio, I only kind of know that you live here now. Could you, be my friend, please? And little naive me was like, oh, Shababab's ex is lonely. Oh, I'll be his friend, And so, we started hanging out and just going to movies and getting dinner and stuff like that. And the whole time, at this point, I'd had a lot of guy friends, and I still kind of do have a lot of guy friends, so I didn't think of him romantically. I really didn't. Until finally he was like, so, I like you, right? I'm pursuing you and stuff. Oh, my bad. Realized, I need to decide if I like him back or if I want to be pursued, because at this point, I was on my grind, yo. I was producing videos for the military. I was producing videos for the Security Forces Academy. I wasn't even thinking about romance, not even a little bit. I like being around him, and he's really easy to be around. That was one of the main things that first attracted me to Mr. Hallease. Not romantically, but just as a person. We could talk for a long time, and it wouldn't feel weird or awkward. Even our first kiss, my heart wasn't racing, I didn't have butterflies or things like that. I just remember how calm I felt and how safe I felt, and that was what attracted me to him. So yeah, long story short, he was dating my friend, they broke up, and he pursued me. That's kind of really it. It's not really that interesting. I did actually have to learn how to be a girlfriend, though. I didn't actually really know how to be one. I think that was actually more because of the way I was brought up versus the way he was brought up. My family isn't, overtly affectionate. We show that we love you through our actions, so, showing up to every function, showing up to everything, being there for you if you need help. It's love through action, definitely, with my family. Whereas with his family, it's a little more, my husband, he's Latino and part Lebanese. His family is, I think, a traditional Latino family, and, te amo mucho, I love you, I love you, I love, just constant verbal reaffirmations of feelings. And his parents are a little more PDA, you know, we'll be walking downtown and they're holding hands, or, you know, there's just these little signs of affection kind of thing, whereas my family, we just don't really do that. I remember when we first officially were together and I would come over a lot and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'd knock on the door of his apartment and he'd open up and be like, hey, like, yo, what's up? And then I'd just like come in and like sit on the couch and be like, how was work? What are you doing? You know, I just start talking to him about our days and stuff. And he would indulge me and start talking because he wanted to tell me. But eventually, like midway through the conversation, he would just kind of like kiss me. And I'd be like, yeah, thanks. And then I think maybe the fourth or fifth time I'd come over and just walked in, he like stopped me at the door. He was like, you need to hug me or kiss me or something because we haven't seen each other in a day. And this is what you do when you're dating someone. You kiss them when you see them or hug them or something. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. Like holding hands in public. I didn't, you know, we'd be walking to a movie or something and I'd just be walking and talking next to him. And then he'd just kind of grab my hand and I'd be like, why are you doing this? I can't fully explain myself now because I only have one hand. I'd just be like, this is weird that we're holding hands. This is weird. And he's like, no, it's actually not. You're being weird about it, but we're together. That's how I met Mr. Hallease, and that's how I sucked at being a girlfriend in the beginning. I figured it out though. 2011 was when we got married. We're still kicking it, still chilling. People always ask, oh, how long have you been married? I don't know, since 2011. It's just, for me, it's like, there was life before Mr. Hallease and then there's life after him, you know? There's life now. So I don't really like trying to keep track of the number because then it feels like you're trying to achieve some goal, which I'm not. He's not really ever on the channel, you know? We're not like Britpop Life doing a whole vlog, we together thing. He sees the YouTube thing as just my thing. He does pop up every now and then on here though, because we're traveling somewhere and, you know, I'm traveling with him, so here he is in the video and, you know, y'all can see that he exists, he is real. He is a real person. But yeah, I could maybe try to get him to do a husband tag or something, maybe. He might be down for that. He might indulge me with that. If you want him to come on and do a husband tag, I guess put some questions in the comments and maybe sometime during VEDA. Actually, he probably might do it for me because he knows I'm doing VEDA and he knows I'm gonna run out of ideas. Like, he knows I'm already struggling. So he might actually be down to do a husband tag for me. And we can go from there. I'll see y'all tomorrow.